place up. Yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, fool. I'm a chaser. Face up, now I feel a little major. Link up and out, ego I'ma take her. Shaker, yeah, she was a born shaker. She shake me out that door to no place. Damn, why you doing all that? Don't you fuck my wife or you stab me in the back? Something like a rose when we came out there. We settled flags like the Vinci. I'm breaking bones to broken glass. Come on, get your ass up if you're slipping. Get another smile like it was the last Christmas day.
Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video and the thumbnail, this is what we are going over today. This is the Walther PDP-F. It is a gun that was released earlier in 2022. We've had this one in for a while now, have quite a number of rounds through it. So I have a pretty good opinion on the pistol, but what the heck is it? Well, it is a, I guess you'd say, a mid-sized pistol. And if you guys watch my channel frequently, you guys have seen my PDP video, which I really like those guns. They're fantastic. And that was, I guess, the first step in the evolution of this platform from Walther. This one here is available in a couple different sizes. This has the 4-inch barrel. It also comes in a 3.5-inch barrel version, and it's an optic ready pistol, as you can imagine, with good capacity, which we will get to here in just a second. And it has modular back straps, things that people like. It does, again, have optics ready slide. Factory, you don't need to order a special one or anything like that. They are all like that, and it has a shorter trigger reach, which some people like. And the big one, at least that they're marketing anyway, is that the slide is easier to manipulate. According to Walther, it's 20% easier to manipulate than the standard PDP. Now, in my testing, I found that absolutely to be true, and I handed it to my wife to get her opinion on it, and she liked it, but she doesn't have any issue running the standard Walthers either. So I don't know that she's the best one to look for, but it's not just for women, because there's a lot of people out there. Obviously, we have an aging population. So as folks get older, it becomes a little bit harder to run those semi-automatic slides should you have malfunction or just to load the gun, things like that, or disabled folks, whatever the case may be. I really don't see any harm in having a slide that is easier to rack. And I think that marketing this to women is probably not the best route, in my opinion, because it is a fantastic gun for men as well, and really just for anyone. And I'm kind of giving away the end of the video there, but that is my thoughts on it. So let's get up close and personal, take a look at some of the details, and then at the end, we'll sort of walk you through how it's performed, how I have it set up, those sorts of things. Before getting into the details of the gun, we will go ahead and make sure it is clear. So we'll drop our magazine there with our magazine release. What's nice about that, it is reversible. And as you can see there, it has a very nice shroud there on the frame. Big fan of that. It's hard to accidentally bump, but it's very easy to actuate. So kind of the best of both worlds there. And again, for the lefties, you can swap it out to either side. We do have our magazines there. These are the standard magazines for the PDP Compact. However, PDP full-size mags will fit, and many of the Canic mags will fit as well. Canic mag. Fair lock back. You can see that we do have the cutouts there for both sides of the magazine release if you do want to switch it over. And these mags are made by Metgar, very, very high quality magazines. Of course, we have the witness holes there on the back as well. At this point, we will push up there on our slide lock slide release lever, which of course is ambidextrous. Verify that the pistol is unloaded, and it is. Now, sort of walking through some of the details, we do have replaceable back straps. This one here is the large one because I do have large size hands. Again, though, for folks with smaller hands, it does have a nice slim one that comes with it as well. You can see there in our magazine well, we don't really have much of a bevel, a little bit there on the front. But of course, our back strap does act as a magazine bevel of sorts when doing reloads because it gives you something to index off of. Additionally, one thing that the PDP's had that this pistol has as well is this point right here in the front of the grip. So what that's for is twofold. Number one, obviously it gives you a little bit better grip on the pistol. But additionally, if you're using a red dot, a lot of people who miss the dot when presenting, I would guesstimate probably 80% of the time when they miss the dot, they miss it high. So what that does is when you're gripping it, it gives you a little bit more torque there at the bottom to sort of bring the pistol down and help you get that red dot sight optic picture. Now there are other ways to do that, but that is a video for another day. Talking about the actual texture here, it's Walther's proprietary texture. It's very good. It's aggressive enough that it's going to give you the ability to have the pistol not move around in your hand, even if you're shooting one-handed or out there in the heat. I shot this pistol multiple times in the triple digits with very high humidity, had no issues at all with it slipping around. And one thing that helps with that is that front strap texture. It's a little bit more aggressive than what you get here on the side and the back strap, and of course that really is one of the more important parts of a pistol grip, particularly under recoil, because recoil recoils like that. Continuing on up, we do have a undercut trigger guard, once again giving you a higher grip on the pistol, which is exactly what you would want. We have an enlarged trigger guard, and then out there on the front we do have some checkering. For those of you that are into running your finger out there on the front of your trigger guard, that will help you control the pistol a little bit. I don't do that personally, but I know there are world champion shooters who do it, so if that is you, have at it. We do have our 1913 rail out there for your lights, lasers, accessories, and again, this is the 4-inch model. On the 3-inch model, you're going to lose one of those rails on there, but you do still have the option to run a light on either one of them. Continuing on to the sights on the gun as it comes from the factory are adjustable with the rear, so it's got a sort of match style sight. That said, they are plastic. I'm not a fan of plastic sights. I've been consistent on that over the years. I think any kind of pistol, particularly a defensive-oriented pistol, should have steel sights, aluminum at a minimum. But the benefit of them is that they are Glock compatible. So any of your Glock sights you can throw on there. We did throw a set of excess sights on there. We have the plain rear here with the square notch, and then of course the tritium with the orange outline up front. These sights are designed to co-witness with red dot sights, and again, because they are Glock compatible, the number of sights out there really is just tremendous. There's probably more than any other type of pistol out there, so I do dig that. When you order the pistol, it does not come with mounting plates. That said, you do get a coupon that you can use, and it gives you a code. You can go on to Walther's website and request whatever type of optic mounting plate that you want. This is in contrast rather to say like a Glock or an M&P that comes with a wide number of plates. This one here doesn't, but I think they do that to keep the cost down, and most folks have one pattern of optic anyway, so it doesn't cost you anything. You just have to let them know and they will send you out the adapter plate. This is the Trijicon RMR adapter plate, and we're running the Primary Arms Classic Series red dot on there. And of course, it co-witnesses with these sights. If you guys are running the factory sights, you are going to need something higher if you want to co-witness. That said, I know there are people out there who hate co-witnessing with red dots. And of course, I know there's plenty of people out there who aren't going to run a red dot at all. But of course, it gives you the option should you want to ever going forward. Now, let's talk about this slide here. This slide has a tenifer finish, so it's the old school lock finish. It gives you good corrosion resistance, good surface hardness, and it's going to also give you good durability over time. We do have these serrations up front, which in conjunction with the fact that the slide is a little bit easier to rack, makes it very easy to manipulate the pistol if you guys want to do press checks up front. Easy to do. Additionally, even with that optic on there, it's very easy to grab the slide and run it. The serrations are very, very good in my opinion, and one thing that's nice about the PDP series is that it does have a nice high cut backstrap as well, letting you get as high as possible for this Walther type of design. There are pistols that probably have a little bit lower bore access, but for this type of design, it's pretty darn low, and with that low mass recoiling slide, it shoots very flat, as you guys have probably seen throughout the video. Again, we've already cleared it. Now we're going to show you how to take it down, and we're going to just pull back slightly, pull down on each side here on these two levers, and our slide will come off when we press our trigger, just like so. Looking in there, there are the internals, as you guys can see. Everything looks good. It's Walther. You would expect no machining marks or anything like that, and we certainly do not have any. We can take our recoil spring and guide rod out. It is captive, as you can see there. It is a polymer guide rod and spring. And then additionally, we will take our barrel out. The barrel itself is cold hammer forged. It is chrome lined as well. It has that nice wide feed ramp for feeding hollow points. And then looking in there, you guys will see, of course, very precise machining, which is exactly what you would expect from Walther. Some of their weirdo German markings on there, I have no idea what those mean. I am not German, but you know, the Germans, they like to mark everything. It just kind of is what it is. But that is your basic takedown of the pistol. You really don't need to take it down any more than that. Reassembly is the same thing, just in reverse order. Should note that we do have an 11-degree crown on there. It's not as deep as some competitive options, but it is there. And of course, that does aid in accuracy. Putting it back together, you're just going to slide the slide rear, pull back, and at this point, we are good to go. One thing I meant to do when we had that up close tabletop shot that you guys just saw going was do a little size comparison, but essentially it is very close to Glock 19 size for those of you guys who are familiar with that. And it actually fits in every single Glock 19 holster I have. That said, there are companies that do make these exclusively, at least holsters for them, I should say. So just know that that option is out there, but even if you don't see it, most of your Glock 19s are going to fit. And to just give you a little bit of a size comparison, we have a Glock 17 here, and you guys can get the idea there in terms of the overall size and overall length. We'll roll in the actual dimensions there for the Walther, but it is a good size for just about any use, in my opinion. So it definitely can be EDC'd without question, and you can use it for home defense and anything like that. So really kind of a do-all pistol. And like we mentioned earlier, it is marketed for folks who have issues, and that's good. I think that's a bonus. But I do think for somebody like myself, I would have no issue carrying this, using this for home defense, anything like that. Just because it has the F in the name doesn't mean everyone can't use it. Everyone can use it. It's a very good gun. Now, there are some things that we didn't talk about so far in the video. One of them that a lot of people talk about when they're talking about this firearm, or any of the PDP series, I should say, is going to be the trigger, and for good reason. It's fantastic. So the trigger on this gun is one of the best striker-fired triggers out there on the market. And basically, we do have that trigger safety on there, and you have to engage that in order to actually pull the trigger. If you just pull on the sides and don't engage that trigger safety, you will not be able to fire. That said, the trigger itself, you're going to have a little bit of uptake. You're going to hit a wall, and then super crisp, super clean break right at 4.5 pounds on my trigger gauge consistently. So it was a little bit more when we first got the pistol in, but at this point it's consistent 4.5 pounds pretty much every time. And the reset is fantastic as well. Very tactile, very audible, very short. And again, a break crisp. It breaks for a striker fired trigger, in my opinion, as good as anything out there. So if you can't shoot this pistol well, you simply can't shoot well. It's not the trigger's fault. It's not the ergonomics fault. It points very natural, has a natural grip angle to it. And again, like we kind of intimated in the beginning, this pistol has had a grand total of 0 malfunctions at all. We ran mostly Minuteman munitions through it, about 1,100 rounds of that, about 100 rounds of mixed hollow points, both the AAC hollow points, 124 grain, 115 grain, then we ran some Remington through it, as well as some normal hollow points, so various different weights. And this pistol ate all of it. Of course, that wide feed ramp, the high feed angle of the magazine, all of those things play into it. In terms of accuracy, it's as accurate as I can be. So I always say that with pistols, there are much better pistol shooters than me in terms of precision. I can hang with just about anybody in the rifle front, but there are folks out there who can shoot, like actually are capable of shooting 1-inch groups consistent with pistols. If the guns can do it, I can't do that. But this one here in my testing with the AAC 124 grain and then the Minuteman 147 grain, it was shooting consistently 2 to 2.5 inch groups at 25 yards. And that's with me shooting it. Again, I'm not the greatest precision shooter with a pistol. I'm just not. It is what it is, but most folks will never need that type of accuracy in any practical situation. So it's as accurate as you need it to be. And just full disclosure, I should mention that Walther did send this out to me, but they sent it out to me at request because I really like the PDP series a lot, and was very interested in getting my hands on this one. But again, like I said, 0 malfunctions, great trigger. The downside, of course, is going to be those plastic sights. The upside is that they are Glock compatible sights, so you can place them with whatever you want. That said, no pistol should be issued with plastic sights. That's my opinion. I stand by it, and I don't care that Walther sent me the pistol. I'm saying it anyway. It's true. It's a fact. Stop doing it, Walther. And with that, I think we covered pretty much everything with the exception of price point. So the MSRP on these is $699, and the street price is going to be $600-ish, plus or minus $50, at least when I'm filming this video anyway. And if you guys are looking for it, there should be a link somewhere for you guys to pick it up on my social media. So definitely check that out. And I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about the pistol, anything else we talk about here on the channel, you can always post it down below in the comment section. You can post it over at any of my social media sites that you see here on your screen as well. Basically, if you follow me on those sites, most of them, with the exception of the Zuckerberg sites, we post deals all the time. So if this thing goes in stock, goes on sale, any of those things, it will be in there. Additionally, it will be in my daily deals email. As the name indicates, rather, the email goes out every day, and it has 6 or 7 of the best deals that we find around the internet. It also has good meme in there that most of you guys will like. And like I said, if it's in the email, it's the cheapest I know of anywhere on the internet, so it saves you guys some time and hopefully saves you some money. If you like this type of video and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you've done that and you're still not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, make sure you sign up for my email list at the website here on your screen. They are 2 distinct emails, just to be clear. This email goes out once a month. It doesn't have anything spammy or anything like that in it, but it does have all of my videos since the previous email went out, so that way you guys are not censored from my content. So I know that happens wherever you're watching this, so that way with the email from me direct to you, there's no censorship. You guys can see everything I put out and watch all the content that I put out. So with that, that's all I got. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video. Red Army Standard steel case.